Hey, welcome tonight. This is Dr. Dan Purser, danpursermd.com. Tonight we're going to talk about MTHFR causes, symptoms, diseases, and treatments, all rolled into one top 10 Facebook Live. Actually, it's going to be more than top 10 as usual, right? It's going to be like top 26.
Somehow you always make it more than it's supposed to be.
I'm trying to give everyone who's paid more than their money's worth.
Paid with what?
Paid.
It took you guys a minute.
Yeah.
Because you're not getting paid. Well, no, there's some sad news for Jackson. Jackson, sadly, I picked and am paying someone else to play the theme song tonight. Hit it, maestro.
Y'all ready for this? Some flourishes there at the end.
Student
I now
surpasses
created
the
this
master.
huge rift between Jackson and his sister Brecken, because Brecken's now the official theme song host. So that was the theme from Star Wars, right?
Yeah, of course.
Because that's what Jackson always tells me.
Theme of A Star, yes.
A star.
A
Star is
twinkling
born.
Star.
No.
Just A Star. It doesn't matter what star.
Okay, great. Okay, so it's Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. That's what Brecken just said, right?
Yep.
I'm not going to pay you for that.
Come on. I worked hard on that.
Your little fingers are bleeding. Hold them up to the camera.
I'm kind
Okay.
of far away.
Okay, across from me is Brecken. To the left, across from me and to the left is Jackson. Jackson, other than my amazing 85% solution book, which is on sale now for 99 cents, would you all please go right now to Kindle and download it right this minute? I'll leap to number one forever on Amazon. Well, it was number one for 2 years without having to do that. But yeah, please download it. Please leave me a review. Please, it's all I ask. We're giving it to you for 99 cents. I need a review, whether it's bad, good, great, or awesome. I don't care. Just an honest review. Okay, so what else is on sale?
Right now we have the 3 for 100 MTHFR Renew on Physician Design.
3 for 100. How am I going to pay? Wait, no one's going to college. Oh, Bailey is, right? Okay. Yep.
The rest of us are dropouts.
You pretty much.
No.
I've
Graduated with an
an
honors degree from BYU Hawaii or something, didn't you?
Yeah.
Associates.
Not an honors. It was associates. Had a scholarship, though.
Yeah, well, that's the same thing as it's free for you kids. Why was it free? Because you won Miss BYU Hawaii? Or?
No, I just got really good grades.
Oh, so you're smart.
Some would think.
You're smart and pretty.
Thanks.
Yeah. She's married, so forget it, guys. Okay, so...
Apparently, I look a lot like Dr. Purser. A patient yesterday just told me, you have to be his daughter. And I am, but I'm not his blood daughter. But we look a lot alike, I guess. Especially our glasses. Aren't those new?
These are new.
You're copying me.
What was that?
You're copying me.
Mine are better and more manly. So, okay, I wanted to look like Superman because I save a lot of people.
It all makes sense. Okay.
Okay, so 3 for 100 on for something. Is a $10 thing still going on, or that left Friday?
It's still up right now.
Would everyone take advantage of that? Buy some extra stuff so you get some in storage, so all that. And we have some really great products coming out in the near future. We're rocking and rolling for young living people. If you doubt me, talk to some key Royal Crown diamonds, and they might give you a hint. Okay, so let's see. Let me scroll up my script. I spent hours, days on the script.
And I'm already messing it up. Is that what you're saying?
That's what you're doing?
No. We already kind of mentioned your book, but someone asked, what was 99 cents again? Do you want to
It's
tell
the
them?
I can post a
85%
link.
solution on Kindle, the Kindle book.
We'll post the link for you guys.
Post the link. It's an amazing book. It was number one by itself for 2 years on Amazon, which is pretty amazing. It sold a lot of copies. So it's really about how 85% of Utahns and 85% of young living distributors are MTHFR, have some kind of methylation problem. So if you're a young living distributor, you probably have MTHFR. If you live in Utah or from Utah and you have the blonde hair, blue eyes, you especially have MTHFR. Okay. So let's start with that big top 10 regarding MTHFR.
We're
Top
starting,
10 tips.
Are we starting at the bottom? Starting at like number 10?
Yeah, isn't that the best way to go when we do the count
I
up?
think so.
I don't know.
You don't really write them in any special order, though, do you?
I thought I did.
Oh,
but
you
I
did
don't
today?
Really? No, I don't know that.
I'm just-
Okay. Number 10, if you have problems with prescription meds, you probably have MTHFR or other methylation errors.
What meds?
Birth control pills, complex antibiotics, medications like that. You can't tolerate them. You can't break them down properly. Women who have bad MTHFR, birth control pills usually make them feel horrible or crazy or cause them to have clots or strokes.
What causes that?
It's you can't properly methylate the products in the birth control pill, and you can't handle it. It's very inflammatory.
You just can't
for you.
absorb them?
Yeah, you can't break them down properly in your system, because the worse the methylation errors, the more difficult you have breaking them down. Also, if you have bad MTHFR or methylation errors, you won't make glutathione, which in the end will help you remove things that shouldn't be in your body. By the way, I am speaking of glutathione. I forgot. I am speaking in Miami.
Ooh.
2 weeks from this coming Saturday, at a big conference. I'm speaking on dementia, discussing glutathione, bio-PQQ, microubiquinol, the right kind of fish oil, actually DHA from astaxanthin, or proper kind of fish oil to use if you have a risk of dementia. It's funny because dementia is all about methylation problems, the way you handle plaque and cholesterol in your brain. And so if you can prevent from having pro-inflammatory handling of cholesterol in your brain, you won't get dementia.
Ooh.
And we think glutathione doesn't. There's some other things, lots of studies that show it does. So, okay. So let's go on to
Number 9.
number 9. If vitamins such as prenatals made you sick or made you feel awful, then you probably have MTHFR or other methylation errors.
Why is that?
Vitamins like that usually have folic acid and cyanocobalamin in that. You can't break either down properly if you have MTHFR. Cyanocobalamin's the common B12 that's out there. It's made with cyanide. It's really, made with cyanide. Yeah. Lovely, isn't it?
Doesn't sound
really
good.
cheap. And it will make them really sick. They'll feel terrible. It just holds in their system. Doctors will check their blood levels and they'll be really high, yet they feel awful, fatigued, exhausted, because you can't absorb that kind of B12 cyanide link B12 into your system because you can't detox it properly. So it just can't get in.
Same with folic acid, right?
A lot of people in North America have a folic acid receptor dysfunction problem. Their genes, their FOLR2, FOLR2 gene is in error. They weren't born with the correct genes to absorb folic acid.
Gotcha.
They can absorb folate or methylfolate or folinic acid, things like that. Though now folinic acid is considered a drug. Man,
So
horrible.
sad because that was such good stuff.
Yeah, so really sad.
I love
So can't even
folic.
get it now. So we're using food folate. It's kind of like a form of folic acid, but it's not. It's not absorbed through the same pathway. It's food folate. So same thing Young Living uses now in the Super B course. Okay.
Right, number 8.
Number 8, if you have problems with heavy metals, you probably, or fibro for that matter, you probably have, if fibro for sure, you have MTHFR or other methylation errors. I put probably on there, but you definitely have them if you can't handle heavy metals. Why is that?
I don't know. That's so crazy they're connected. Like how entwined these issues can be.
Yeah, it's because you can't create glutathione properly because of your MTHFR status. And instead you're building homocysteine. Homocysteine the body converts directly to glutathione. Homocysteine is really pro-inflammatory. It's horrible for you. Worst thing possible for you.
That's why a lot of people, when they have high homocysteine levels, don't they get like strokes or heart attacks?
They die, yeah. Strokes, heart attacks, they're 28,
And they just
32, 35, 19 have a heart attack. Yeah,
crazy.
because of a bad homocysteine level. So,
And that's a typical sign you can tell that someone has MTHFR, right?
right, and almost all heavy metal problems is connected to methylation problems because you can't properly remove it because you're not making enough glutathione usually.
What's the most common heavy metal that you see?
Well, fibromyalgia with copper, but that's not really heavy metal. Gadolinium.
Which is what?
It's used in radiologic tests a lot. So people say, yeah, I had a CAT scan or MRI 4 years ago. I've been hurting ever since. They have gadolinium toxicity.
That's crazy.
See it? There's a cheap test. It's like $200. It's a little over $200. It's at Genova.
Yeah.
Toxic elements test. You just pee in a bottle and then ship it on to Genova. We'll send you the test if you think that's you.
Mm-hmm.
It looks at a bunch of different heavy metals, but it's almost always gadolinium. Occasionally it's uranium or rubidium or one of those, but usually it's gadolinium, which is weird, but people can't flush it out after they've been exposed to it some way or another.
Just get stuck in there.
So
what's number 7?
number seven, if you have problems with drinking alcohol, like you can't tolerate it, you drink a little bit and you get sick, or you get totally blasted drunk with just a sip, you have MTHFR or other methylation errors. You can't properly methylate the alcohol. You can't make the glutathione to get rid of the alcohol. So
is that basically like the same thing as heavy metals? You can't detox it?
Yep, can't detox it. Yep, acetaminophen, Tylenol is the same way. These people can't break down medications correctly, like Tylenol, acetaminophen, like narcotics, like alcohol, like birth control pills, like prenatals, just, and everyone looks at you funny, but your husband's like, what are you talking about? Why can't you do this? And it's because you can't methylate properly, so you can't get rid of these toxins appropriately through your kidneys or liver function because you can't break them down to get them to that point.
Crazy.
So it's a lifelong problem. So instead, you end up going with all natural stuff. Companies like Young Living or doTERRA, Young Living more so, I think, tend to attract you because they're all natural, and the essential oils and all that work for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 6.
Number 6, if you're tired all the time or understand what the word fatigue really means, then you probably have MTHFR or other methylation errors.
Yeah, why are we so tired all the time?
You're not now, are you?
No, I'm a lot better.
You're under a lot of you've been under a lot of stress.
Yeah, but I'm doing a lot better. Like my MTHFR fatigue is nowhere near what it used to be. I would come
when you're
home,
in high school and still in college.
I thought it was my mono that was always causing me to flare up.
Do you think it's because you've learned to care for yourself better and the new MTHFR Endure is just that much better?
For sure. The Endure for me has been a game changer.
It was for your mom too.
Yeah.
Jackson, do you like it more?
Oh, yeah, I've been loving the Endure. I actually need to up my dose. I've been taking 2 a day, but I need to jump to 3 a day.
Will that cause you maybe to get a date? You think?
It could help get a date, yeah.
Another date.
No promises.
You got plenty now. Jackson's slowly being trained to run our biotech pharmaceutical company. He's going to be a big catch.
Oh, gosh. Here he is.
I'm not now.
He already is.
Well, he already is a big catch, but...
Such a good dad.
He'll be a good dad for someone.
No.
Wait, what?
Nothing. Okay, number 5.
Well, I was thinking there's probably some really, I don't know. Never mind. I'll just shut up now while I'm ahead. Okay, so
Matchmaker.
number 5.
Matchmaker.
At its most basic level, what do the methylation errors mean? Do you know, Brecken?
I can look at your answer.
No, don't.
No, I don't know.
So a normal person without any methylation errors, I haven't met one. The lowest I've ever seen, I have 2. The lowest I've ever seen is someone with 3 as a patient. But if you have no methylation errors, when you take in one carefully scientifically designed carbohydrate, or defined, I should say, carbohydrate molecule, and that does not mean a giant Disney cupcake that I would really like to have right now. But okay, so one carbohydrate molecule, you take it through your cell, through the nucleus of your cell, through the mitochondria, and you have hundreds of those in each cell. Those are called the powerhouses of the cell because they take the carbohydrate and convert it to ATP. Think of carbohydrate like crude oil from the ground. You have to take it through the refinery, which is the mitochondria, the Krebs cycle, the citric acid cycle, all that, and out comes the unleaded gasoline of the human body, which is ATP. they create 32 ATP. Most of the patients I see when we do their foundation methylation test, or I look at all their genetic errors on their 23andMe, the NutriHacker they send me, the complete, not just the plain NutriHacker, they'll be making 4 or 5 ATP, not 32, and the rest is being tried to be stored as fat all their lives. So they have weight problems and things like that because they're not as efficient efficient a carbohydrate utilizer, energy utilizer as someone with fewer errors.
And that plays into energy, because if you're not actually processing the carbohydrates right,
Tired
you're
all
not
the time.
going to get any energy.
Right, and so MTHFR, Endure, Renew, all the other MTHFR baseline products out there, there's 4 or 5 of them. They're designed to push you, whether they knew it or not. We think our product is the most complete and complex MTHFR supports type products out there, the Endure and the Renew, but they're designed to push you up towards the 32 ATP mark. So you start burning more calories, you start dropping weight, you feel really good, you have a lot more energy, you can go out and do the 4 to 5 miles every night that you should be doing, walking, running, jogging.
Crawling.
Curling?
Crawling.
I thought you said curling.
No.
Like the Canadian sport, curling?
Is that only Canadian?
No,
It
there's some people in
originated
Minnesota and Wisconsin who play it. Probably Michigan too, I think. Are any of you professional curlers watching me? Okay. Anyway, please let Brecca know. Send her a video of what the sport really is, because it's intense and deadly.
Is that kind of like on a cruise, the old people who play shuffleboard?
Don't even go there.
Is it like the more intense
You're going to
version of
insult
that?
all the curly people ever.
Isn't that like the more intense version?
No, these people are maniacs out there. So you throw this like 80-pound, it's probably more like 40-pound,
Puck?
it's like looks like a fat round iron with a handle on top. It's like a ball, but with a flat part on the bottom. You slide it, and you're trying to get it within circles. And so you have a team member, another team member who sweep brooms
Yeah.
in front of it, trying to guide it down the path.
I've seen it.
It's intensely sweeping.
It's intensely sweet.
There's nothing funny about it. You come out and sweep the garage with me sometime.
I keep wanting to think it's shuffleboard.
I
but
sweep
it's
that
not.
garage out, about once a month. Oh man, it's
Dirty.
dirty. No, I think it's anyway. I'll shut up. Okay, so I did design both the MTHFR Renew and Endure, by the way.
Yeah. Why did you do that? Why
Well, I didn't think you'd ever ask.
Why did you design them the way that you did?
Just for that, because there are multiple reasons why you're not handling your methylation correctly. It could be a folate 1 or folate 2 reason. You don't have proper folate receptors. Could be MTHFD1. It could be one of the MTHFRs, A1298C or C677T. It could be TCN. It could be, there's just a ton of different, there's like 18 different things that could go wrong with your genetics. If any of those happen, we designed it so it would replace. Can I draw a diagram?
Sure.
I know it's scary when I start drawing stuff. Huh?
Yeah.
So,
Do you want to explain a little bit what you're drawing?
No.
yeah, I'm drawing the pathway, for example, from zinc plus B12 to building the testosterone hormone, by the way. And so MTHFR or your methylation errors could affect anywhere along that pathway. And so can you see this all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so see the X marks the spot. Those are ones that are stopped or blanked out due to various methylation errors you have. And so really the whole chain stops. You won't use zinc and B12 to build testosterone. So I see guys with low testosterone levels. I see women in their 20s or 30s with low testosterone level. So our job with our supplement design is to fill in those X's. that come after the errors occur. Does that make sense? Hope it kind of does, but
Yeah.
Yeah, so we fill in the blanks
It's like a
of
formula.
your life,
Yeah.
of your genetic, of your
Things
path,
that are missing.
of the pathways. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm missing a sheet of paper for tomorrow. I have to go next door and borrow it.
He
from the
gets really
weightlifting
sad
book.
when he doesn't have paper.
Well, no, I
He comes running out and goes,
We can
"Where's
make
my
a-
paper?"
We can make another video kind of about that, explaining those points a little bit more. Where in the pathways that these two supplements fit in, and why that's beneficial.
That's what? No, wait, you do that.
I know, we'll make that video sometime. Yeah.
You do that. That's
I
funny.
know where they fit in, but that's I thought about doing one of those really complex, advanced videos, but I
No.
don't know how easy. That would not be easy. Breaking, you'd have to move really fast and create lots of drawings.
I'd have to curl around.
Curl with a broom. Okay.
Wait, will you explain the difference between MTHFR, Endure, and Renew? Because I keep seeing that.
Okay, MTHFR Renew is more for C677T errors, and it's more for early on. If you've never been treated or taken like any B vitamins, and you're like, I tell you, wow, you have MTHFR, your doctor does. You need to start on Renew first. At least try it. If you have any problems ever with any vitamins, stop them right away. And occasionally someone might overmethylate on Renew or Endure. They need to back it off or stop it or lower it or whatever. Don't just keep taking it. Overmethylation means you feel like you're drugged. It's really weird, but people with methylation problems can overmethylate either not very easily or really easily. I've had patients take 10 a day for a year. For example, I had a lady take 11 Super B every day for a year before she finally overmethylated. I've had many patients do that with Super B or with MTHFR Renew or MTHFR Endure. Super B is a Young Living product, by the way, or Master Formula and Super B's, or Master Formula and MTHFR Renew or Endure. Some people just need a lot. Some barely overmethylate if you give them a drop of it. Those are the problem children that I deal with. Everyone else is really easy. They're like, oh my gosh, I feel so good. I take 2 a day. I overmethylated at 3. I backed it back down to 2. Now I feel really good. I feel normal. I'm losing weight. I'm exercising. I feel like I can be a man again with my wife and stuff like that. That's the kind of stuff I usually hear 80, 90, I'd say 95% of the time. But then I get the ones who really have difficulty because they cannot take any amount of B12 folate or anything. It just sends them into the overmethylation. They start getting headaches. They start spinning, getting anxiety or super sleepy. When I overmethylate, it's like I took 2 Dramamine that morning. So MTHFR Renew is really good if you have C677T problems. You might need 1 or 2 a day, or you might need 11 a day for a while until you overmethylate. I usually tell people to stop at 6. No one needs more than 6 a day, unless you're just trying to fill up all your cells, and then you're seeking the overmethylation, which you should do when you start. Then back it down, because really no one needs more than 3 or 4 a day. At that point, probably eventually everyone should switch to Endure, because Endure, it's really hard to overmethylate on. It's really, most people really like it, like Brecken, Jackson, my wife. Hundreds and hundreds of people have really loved that stuff. Endure is probably our premier MTHFR product right now. Mm-hmm. And it's the one everyone wants. So, but
the Renew is great. Like, they both have their place, but
they definitely have their place. Some people swear by Renew and go,
yeah.
I can't. The Endure does nothing for me. The Renew is the one I need.
You kind of have
to. It's just your genetics.
Yeah.
Someone on here just commented they take 5 Renew and 10 Endure
a day,
and they haven't overmethylated. That's their
it's
happy
coming
balance.
like a train.
Yeah.
See that fatigue wall in the future that's going to hit you. That's it. You'll end up on like 1 Renew and 3 Endure a day long, or maybe 4 Endure. Yeah. The most errors I've seen is 17 or 18. But if you have some really bad deficiencies, it can take a long time to fill all those up.
Yeah, but like, you should probably let people know, because people are like, so I should back down if I'm on a lot. Not necessarily yet. You want
when you
time to back down.
overmethylate.
Yeah, is when
if you're like,
overmethylate.
I'm so tired, I'm so sleepy,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm drugged, I've been feeling this way for a month now, what is going on? I get those, I'm like, remember when I told you you're going to overmethylate? You're overmethylating. And it's weird. It's sometimes it'll sneak up on you.
Yeah.
So if it's sneaking up, back it off. I
Yeah.
will tell you, don't miss a day, though. Those semi-overmethylators, the really easy overmethylators I talked about earlier, I tell them to stop it all for a day or 2 or 3, just to see, so I can figure things out. But in you who I'm doing that with right now know who you are. You're listening, but because there's just no other way to do it. But then I get you that take 15 a day for a year. So yeah, and you'll eventually overmethylate. So.
Can you take MTHFR and Dora Renew with Super B at the same time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A lot of people who do.
Yeah.
The thing that's driving everyone crazy about Super Bees right now is they go out of stock,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just so and then they get this feast or famine thing going. When they
Yeah.
get back into stock, the people buy 17 bottles, and then they go out of stock again right away
Makes sense.
because they're freaking everyone out. So, okay, does that kind of explain it? You think?
Yeah, that's great.
Is everyone happy?
Yeah.
Are there bubbles rising in the air like they do?
None.
Why?
Just kidding. There's
Oh.
always little bubbles.
I like it when the little bubble things come
You
up.
can't
Okay.
even see that.
Well, not on my thing, I guess. Okay, so on my pad. Okay, so where are we?
Number 3. What are the medical illnesses associated with MTHFR?
I thought you would never ask.
I roll back here. People can't see me, so I'll tell them I'm rolling my eyes.
I went off memory. I just loaded this up this afternoon. I was like, all the things I know that MTHFR causes: fatigue. We already talked about depression, anxiety, ADHD, especially in younger kids, PCOS. From what I'm being able to find out, always has a big MTHFR component. Big. Endometriosis, PMS, both have big MTHFR components.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's known much in the literature, but it's all I see. Preeclampsia and toxemia of pregnancy are definitely associated with MTHFR. The C677T variant usually. So if you have that variant and you suddenly have a daughter who's getting toxemia, it's because she's not taking the proper prenatals. And you can use even master formula if you're in living, or Thorne prenatal if you're not. And you'll need more than that. You'll need probably our Endure to go with it.
Mm-hmm.
Usually I get women who take one prenatal of the right kind, either the Thorne, the Garden of Life, or the master formula, and then they'll take 2 or 3 or 4 Endure a day.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to be all tired and exhausted and feel horrible while you're pregnant.
Don't be
That-
throwing up your prenatals.
Yeah,
you
the
know, take right
prenatals, if
one.
you're throwing it up, it's because you're taking something loaded with folic acid and all that. Stop it. So breast cancer and other cancers are a big risk with MTHFR. Miscarriages, lots of miscarriages.
Mm-hmm.
Postpartum depression too. Young coronary artery disease, strokes, or heart attacks caused by hyperhomocystinemia or anuria. Either way. That means you have a high homocysteine level
Yeah.
and you're 28 and you had a heart attack. What the? And the doctors better check for homocysteine level. If they didn't, go get one now. If that's you, or you got a brother or sister or someone who's had a stroke or done that. Hypotestosteronism or hypogonadism in men and women. There's no way a 24-year-old guy should have low testosterone unless he played in the NFL or Division I college football. It's not pituitary. If he hasn't damaged his testicles, it's not testicular damage. It's not trauma related. It's probably vitamin deficiencies, and the most common cause of those are the methylation errors,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Premature menopause. 28-year-old girl, 32-year-old girl, 41-year-old girl, 43-year-old girl, even if it runs in the family. Great, you all have had MTHFR for 3 generations back. And you can't absorb B vitamins correctly. You can't make testosterone, estradiol, progesterone correctly. Remember how I keep preaching to you almost all these Facebook Lives, good nutrition in equals good hormones out. Keep that in mind. Good vitamins in, the right vitamins for your genetics, for what's going on, good hormones out, right?
Yep.
So ovarian insufficiency, which is where your ovaries aren't putting out anything, and the doctors are scratching their head because they cannot figure it out. Good. If they can't figure it out, you know who to call. Call me or someone else who's versed in this stuff. But I prefer you call me or call my office. 801 796-7667. Okay, sorry. This is a gross ad, wasn't it?
That was
Is
funny.
that blatant?
I liked
Okay.
it.
Okay.
I thought you were going to say Ghostbusters. Who are you going to call?
Who you going to call?
Ghostbusters.
Dr.
What about
Purser. No, that
Seizures. I've seen that a lot tonight. People are wondering if there's a connection to MTHFR and seizures.
If you got bad enough B vitamin deficiencies, yes.
That's what I would think. It's vitamins.
Man, I've been shocked in the last 6 months. I've seen some of the worst thiamine deficiencies, riboflavin deficiencies, and niacin deficiencies. What's up with that? So so really low riboflavin? What's that disease called?
Berry.
No, hyporiboflavinosis.
Gosh dang. What's berry? Thiamine?
Thiamine.
Gosh dang.
What's pellagra?
I've never heard that word.
Niacin deficiency. I think I've seen a couple cases. They were so low of niacin and thiamine that I'm pretty sure I saw berry and pellagra
Wow.
in the last 6 months.
It's crazy.
They are so sick; it's unbelievable. I mean, I get a wide rainbow of people, which I mean that in the best possible way too. But I mean, I also get a wide spectrum of symptoms too, from really horrible, can hardly move, and they're dying literally, probably more than they know,
Yeah.
to really mild. And I deal with it all. I get to play medical history detective when I get them. So that's why sometimes the first 30 minutes we're just talking, trying to figure you out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll tease you. Yeah, I'll joke with you. Yeah, but I'll definitely try and figure you out.
What about like bipolar, that kind of stuff?
Yep. Sorry, I should have added it.
What about, this is a big one, thyroid issues?
Well, good point. Any hormone issue, we knew this from the research I did at the University of Southern California that any hormone issue could be caused from vitamin deficiencies. And I just said the most common cause of vitamin deficiency I see, at least among the people who call me and set up appointments, is B vitamin type deficiencies. I mean, I have patients with 8 or 9 different B vitamin deficiencies. That's insane.
Yeah.
And they're like, I don't know why I'm so tired all the time and why I can hardly get out of bed. And I'm like, dude, you got 9 vitamin deficiencies. You're lucky you're alive. I don't know how you're functioning.
Yeah.
So, and those have usually been going on for like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
That's wow. So I know you're out there. You're hearing me. Call me. Well, call my office. Okay, number 2.
What labs do you recommend? Testing.
Our foundation methylation genetics test. 10 days total privacy. Just order it from our danpursermd.com website. Swab each cheek 30 seconds. Put it in the tube. Put it in the mailer. Send it on to Austin. It's all prepaid. Or 23andMe if you already have it. The health test, the medical. I don't know what they call it. The health one.
Yeah.
Followed by a NuTracker.com complete, which Brecken is the person, if you can't figure out how to get a complete, the PDF,
I can
Brecken will
help you.
help you. It's $37.
Yep, that's correct.
So, and I also like to see Prometheus, which is $12 by Stanford. So, but the methylation is the easiest and quickest. 23andMe, do not use your real name. Don't use your real date of birth. Modify it slightly. Got major privacy issues on that. Also, you've got to do a SpectraCell micronutrient panel because it matches up usually quite well with your genetic errors or SNPs or the genetic problems where you're damaged, but doesn't always. So I need to know that because I won't be able to get you better. And yeah, they're not cheap, and yeah, insurance now won't cover them. They should because man, I learned about them from a U.S. Assistant Surgeon General. I think Medicare and Medicaid will cover it, but insurances won't. So it's so weird.
It's so worth it though.
It's a game changer for most of you really
I
sick
just got
people.
mine, but you won't go over the results with me.
I'm never gonna.
We need to
go
do
with
that
it.
on a
You
video
won't
or
tell
Facebook
me what
Live,
I'm
yeah.
supposed to do.
Oh yeah, we're supposed to do that on a video, aren't
We'll
we?
do a video.
Did
We'll
it
make
come
that
back?
Yeah.
Was it really bad?
No, not too bad.
Did you cry?
I cry every day. No, I'm just kidding. I don't. That's my sister Bailey.
Because you go through. Bailey's number 1 in her class in nursing school.
Way to go, Bailey.
You were number 1 in your class at BYUY, weren't you?
I had many classes.
What?
I was number one in my class.
I think you were number one in your class.
Before we get to number one, I have a lot of people asking, like, where can I get all this information? Don't you have another post going up soon?
It's in
At
his book, too.
7:35, it pops up.
Cool. Yeah, right now.
Oh, there it's up now. So there it is. So funny how I did that, wasn't it?
Well, amazing.
And then always, you can always watch these videos again and again. Listen to the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts at. We're on YouTube. The information's out there. Get the book. It's all there. Or make an appointment. Come work with us directly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or we can Zoom it. This stuff's just vitamin deficiencies, so we can definitely Zoom it. You don't have to fly in here to see me for this. We'll send you the SpectraCell that I've drawn and the little swab kit. Swab your mouth, easy. But then we dial in. I've done this with literally thousands and thousands of patients. So it's just, get off your antidepressants, get off your weird testosterone shots. Okay, I do prescribe those too a lot, but most guys don't really need them.
Yep.
And young women don't need hormones usually because they really have a bunch of vitamin deficiencies. Okay, number one.
Last one.
Find out the genetic errors you carry. Then, if it is significant, test and treat your children or your grandchildren. There's lots of good vitamin options out there for them. Our Tiny Bite, I designed for our daughter who was 11 at the time. It's a chewable. It can be split in halves or quarters. Remember, having only a few errors, I only take a half of one. Half of a Tiny Bite chewable, MTHFR Endure chewable Tiny Bite is equal to a quarter of a capsule. A full Tiny Bite is equal to half a capsule of Endure. But for a little kid, they probably need a quarter. The bottle literally lasts you almost 6 months. I think more than that.
Wait, what?
240. Right there. 8 months. If you're giving a quarter a day to a 3 or 4 year old.
Can't
or
even
5-year-old.
imagine taking a quarter a day. I take 3 Endure.
I take a half of a Tiny Bite. If I take more, I'm over methylated. I used to take a quarter in the afternoon, but
Don't need it.
when it was really intense last year, I was working 14 hours, 16-hour days. So give them, or Smarty Pants is another option. There's also some gummies out there by Garden of Life for kids.
So you wouldn't say necessarily like your kids or your grandkids need testing, or do you think if there's like bigger issues that doesn't deal with, then they would get testing?
Yeah, you can get testing. You can get a 23andMe, though. It's easier to probably get a Pro 7. They just swab their cheek and send it in. And it looks at anxiety issues, inflammatory issues, stuff like that. So that's our Pro 7. It's no different on MTHFR collection data than the foundation methylation one, which is $200, but it's 200 and something. Isn't it?
249.
250, 230, 2 something.
249.
Okay, so but the Pro 7 looks at anxiety and depression causes.
Mm-hmm.
So major inflammatory causes. So I am coming out with something. I can't mention it. Why are you shaking your head now?
Just be careful. What are we talking about?
Keep doing these.
Never mind. I can't mention it.
Just let it. It's about to come out. Just let it be.
Gonna be really good.
He gets a little too excited.
Man, am I excited about it.
He loves
The attorneys will shut you down. Don't mention anything.
I'll shut you down.
I do know I've given it to key people at Young Living. Okay, so never mind. Okay, I didn't do that. I'm in another company. Okay, I love you all. Are there any questions, Brecken? I was about to hang up.
Yeah, there's lots of questions.
There's lots of questions.
Ask me.
Let's see. Sorry, it keeps dropping me back down. So if you do want to get your kids tested, is there an age that you think is best, or is it kind of when there's just issues that need to be addressed?
We've tested babies.
Yeah.
Because we wanted mom and dads wanted to know about vaccinating them, and I'm not an anti-vaxxer at all. I'm not zero, but I do advise parents to space them out often.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some occasions when I'll just leave it at that. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're an adult and you can't swallow capsules, can you take the Tiny Bites?
Yeah, that's what I do.
Just like you. Do you think ADHD goes along with MTHFR?
Yeah, it was one of the things I mentioned.
And would
Very
Tiny
much so,
Bites,
especially in kids.
would Tiny Bites help?
Yeah, I've seen it help a lot. Not always 100%. Nothing's 100%, but man, the ones we treated with it is pretty dramatic.
Yeah. Would taking Prozac respond negatively if you take indoor?
No.
Cool. Oh, someone said you can use the HSA accounts and cards to purchase Spectra cells and Pro 7s and.
Oh, thank you.
Yep.
Yeah,
Through Dan
wow. Good
Purser
to
MD.
know.
We
Yeah.
forgot.
So use your HSAs.
That's a great way to get testing.
for as long as they last.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just scrolling through all these questions. It keeps dragging me back down. What about OCD?
Same.
Yeah.
Though I don't know, I'm pretty OCD. But it's because I have certain anxiety genetics. It just makes me that way. You guys know how I get. I want to be on time. I don't want to be behind.
Mm-hmm.
I'm triple check everything, even though my desk is a mess.
They can't see your desk.
Oh, okay, sorry. My desk is perfect. I have so many balls in the air and so many companies I'm involved in and stuff I do, but it's just I want to be of service to a lot of people.
You mentioned that like Tylenol can cause issues sometimes. Is there something else you recommend in place of that? No.
No.
Is there specific vitamin deficiencies that you see always with MTHFR patients?
B12, folate, pantothenate, serine, and glutamine. Yes. Some of those are amino acids, but those are the ones I tend to see.
Yeah.
Over and over and over again. I probably have 8,000 Spectra cells.
Oh, more
I would
than
say
that.
maybe more, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I would say 85% show MTHFR or methylation problems, and almost all those have those 5 deficiencies, or 3 or 4 of the 5.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Okay, we're going to wrap this thing up. We're going to do one more in 2 weeks, right, before I go to Miami?
Yep.
Should we do it on dementia? Dementia prevention?
We can try. Google
That's
doesn't
what I'll
like
be
that.
talking about. Yeah, spread it out. Tell friends, family, people like that. Because Google, for some reason, doesn't allow you to search for dementia right now. We don't know why. Okay, yeah, I'll talk about dementia, the talk I've been asked to give for all those physicians down in Miami. So, are you going to play a song?
No, I was just going to go.
Oh, wow, that was
When we're
cool.
done.
Okay, that's our end credit.
That's just that you're done.
Okay,
No, I'm just kidding.
I'm done.
I'm just kidding.
So please leave me a review if you like what we do or you like how I've treated you. Please leave a Facebook review or a Google review. Apparently, Google reviews are really helpful, right?
He loves reading them.
I'm
just kidding. I
haven't
don't.
read many.
You might have.
I think you guys give some to me every once in a while.
We just tell him about them because we love reading them.
Yeah, leave our
And knowing
Facebook
how we can help
review
better.
always helps. Google reviews. If you got any of my books, please go circle back. Leave me a review. Also, the podcast is available. The podcast version of this is available on
Spotify,
Apple Music,
Apple Podcasts. Yeah.
Apple Podcasts.
other
But
things.
is there something? You know who I really like? Lou Mongello and WDW Radio. Am I up there with him?
You're right there.
What? He's the number one vacation podcast in the world.
Your audience mostly is right here on Facebook. That's why we
Okay,
love
okay.
doing these lives.
Okay, good. Well, yeah, leave me reviews wherever you can. I love you guys. God bless, and thank you very much, and stay in good health.